Okay, we are here. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pujarine Nirvishesha Shunivadi Paschatya Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we are on a roll. I'm really hoping we can really take this forward. Such nice discussion yesterday on the group chat for in terms of um, who can own the land, especially Brahmanas. How do we figure? Well, that's the key, I feel. I feel meaning that's what Srila Prabhupada keeps saying. That's the Vedic system that Go Brahman Hitaya Cha. How do we do that? So I want to just, I mean, it's like preaching to the choir. So let's get into it. Your father is joining Hari Kirtan, Prabhu.
I just sent him a message inquiring if he's going to be joining us.
I did mention to your sister early morning, so let's see.
So I noticed that you sent the Zoom link in the other discussion, so I forwarded it over to this one.
Oh,
it was the Guru Tattva discussion is where you posted the Zoom link.
Here too. Here too, a little bit earlier. I posted it, yeah. To join either. Okay, your father is not going to be joining. Okay, so now we are, let me talk to if Gauranga Sundar Prabhu, Vishwa. Okay. Okay, so Bharat Prabhu, possible that you can lead this discussion as a Kshatriya Brahman or Brahman Kshatriya being trained. Prabhu? Yeah.
Well, I can humbly try moderating, and yeah, I just kept up with the chat. There were many messages. I was really surprised to see. So I was under the impression we are speaking about the constitution part today. So I see the topic went to the ground level ownership of land for Vaishnava Brahmanas. Okay, I'll use the opportunity, as I was not in the first call. Nimai Prabhu, if you find it appropriate till everyone is there, I'm happy to introduce myself and give a little bit of the...
Please go ahead. Yes, please. Yes.
To get us into the mood of what we are talking about today. I was thinking we are speaking about creating the constitution and what is part of a constitution. Now I see we're speaking about ownership of the land. Okay.
Is that not part of the constitution? Like the
same direction, and it's a bit more specific than just brainstorming what needs to be in the constitution and how can it be a template.
I leave to you, as long as today, because I have announced that we have been discussing the Brahmana land, but whatever you want to structure it, please go ahead. Please, it's your baby.
I saw the bigger umbrella is the avoiding the conflict in community. And yeah, I'm first I'm Bharat Das. I'm now talking from Portugal, and in 2013 I met Nimai Prabhu in Germany. At that time I was working in the corporate world and just had 2 little children, and I was thinking how to raise them, how to teach them, what to teach them, how to feed them, and what to do in order to protect them from the materialistic lifestyle. And I remember we went to Vrindavan. And when we came back on that day, I opened a letter, and the tax department, they are asking for 35,000, paying like a fine, paying, and I was shocked. And at that time, I searched for a community where I can raise my children without treading in the hamster wheel. No matter how hard I run, I just need to pay more taxes, and I'm not there with my children, and I'm not there with like-minded devotees. So I found the community that Nityananda Prabhu has founded in Fiji, New Jaipur, the Vedic village. So I was in contact with him, and I went there for 2 weeks, checking the location out, and seeing how the community is. And after 6 months, we got the visa and we moved to Fiji. We left everything in Germany. And I remember that time we were selling all our stuff. We were selling, donating, and downsizing, living in a smaller house, and getting accustomed to the lifestyle of living a more simple life. We prepared for living in Fiji, and when we were there, it was all totally different. Yeah, totally. Throwing us out of our tracks. We were not aware how to live in a community and how to live with less convenience, just with solar power and growing food. No idea how to do all of that. No paved roads, no organic supermarket around the corner. And it was just a challenge in the community to manage simple things, organizational things, because it was just a humble beginning. And that was when I got in touch with the constitution the first time. Nityananda Prabhu, he had started a constitution for the Vedic village, so we have some structure, and we know who is a Brahmana, who is acting as a Vaishya, who is acting in which capacity, while starting to do some homeschooling, and then the first participants, they arrived at the community, and at that point, we started to learn a lot about our personalities, and seeing also what we are lacking, what we did not learn in the Western system in terms of living together every day, being together, starting from Mangal Artik, and how to deal with conflict, how to communicate. And at some point, that community, it fell apart. So we lived with Nimal Pandit Prabhu for a couple of years. We never got the visa, the visa to stay longer. It was like something like 2.5, 3 years or so. And that time was one of the best times in my life, learning a lot. And at the same time, one of the most challenging times. My wife was not having her basic needs met in terms of the organic supermarket around the corner. I did not prepare to work remotely, and I didn't have the visa to work in the US. So it was a very challenging time with much less money than we ever had, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, living in an RV. I learned from Hari Kirtan Prabhu in New Paltz, seeing how he managed everything as if it's a piece of cake. And now my point here is, in community, we're all happy, right? There's no conflict. No. yeah, there will always be conflict where there are humans, and yeah, a constitution, it can help to structure easy things, structure our expectations, and clarify the foundation for any kind of farm project. Yeah, expecting that most of us, they have a transition from one lifestyle to another. And I can say in that time, like 5 years or more, I learned more about my dark sides and my personality that I never saw before. Like in the corporate world, I was a saint, because all the others, they are just karmis, and I'm reading Srimad Bhagavatam in every break that I have. And yeah, now in community, I'm reminded of what Srila Prabhupada said, that yeah, yeah, he said, paraphrasing, that it will show how much we love him in terms of how much we cooperate, how much we cooperate in unity. And as Haribolananda said last week, yeah, there will be a time, Srila Prabhupada said, when people will come in the thousands to our farms. But now, where are these farms? Where are the communities? Why are they not flying? Why are they like over 50 years now after Srila Prabhupada left his body? Why are there not many communities that are thriving, giving a role model to society? So where is the place to raise children in Krishna consciousness right now? Yeah, I'm enthused to speak today about conflict, community, constitution, how to get together as devotees now. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for anyone here on the call who's having just an interest in supporting Srila Prabhupada's second half of the movement. Yeah, it's very underrated, I find, and I'm very inspired to see how Nimai Pandit Prabhu's wonderful vision of the Varnasrama college, and endeavoring for basically since 2013. I know when I got to meet you, I know you were already looking for land, and I had no idea. You were asking me how are the land prices in Germany and everything, and I was just a toddler in that area, only knowing how to move a mouse and type on a keyboard. So yeah, I feel blessed to be here today. There's so much experience that comes together from everyone participating here. And yeah, I'm wondering now, what are topics that are relevant for you? If anyone would like to share in terms of the discussion that was going on in the chat, the Gopal Farm Varnasrama College in WhatsApp, as far as I have read it all, I see there was lots of activity. There was the topic giving land to the Brahmanas, and there was discussion about, hey, there are whole villages still right now in India dedicated only to Brahmanas. I was just reading an old Vedic village review from Nityananda Prabhu, where he is describing for each village there will be one Brahmana, 5 Kshatriyas, 25 Vaishyas, 125 Shudras. Yeah, he's he's stating that, and I put that out here for discussion now. Yeah, under which terms could land be given to the Brahmanas? Like Harikirtan Prabhu was saying, well, it's not just that they get it donated, but also it can be given back can be given back to the original leader of the land, like it has been with the kings in past times, if the land is being misused. So there's something like a lease for 99 years. That was what I had arranged with Nityananda Prabhu in Fiji, a lease for 99 years. If anyone would like to jump into the conversation now, anything is going on for you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Bharat Prabhu, very, very nice to see your desire. You continuing on your BS.
BS?
You know what you say. You give seminars on. I have to say it. What do you call them?
Well, I'm living right now from training managers. So instead of being in the management and running under the gun and
You call
deadlines.
them BS seminars or something, huh? What do you
BS?
call bullshit thing?
Oh no, yeah. Well, I'm endeavoring in the school of simple living, trying to give my life some sense to inspire other people to take up simple living, high thinking, and I want to, as part of that, pretty much doing a similar thing that you endeavor here, to give a framework for people how to start simple living, so that they don't run into the same difficulties that my wife and I ran in, that cost us like half a marriage, almost a full marriage, because we didn't know. She was thinking she's a country girl. I was thinking she's a country girl. And then we're living at the countryside, and for her it's like, wow, she was not able to control her mind at parts, because she was not feeling security. And I didn't know. I was not trained as a husband how to deal with a woman in this in this capacity.
You also have been doing some. What have you been doing with? You've been doing conferences.
Well, I last year I did the Simple Living Reset Summit, where I invited people that are in some capacity leaders in some sort of agriculture, natural healing, all the parts that I understand we need when we are living more self-sufficient. And I want to endeavor, in the context of the School of Simple Living, to share materials that come basically from the Vedic perspective, but doing it in a way so that it's appealing to people that have had no contact with Vaishnava philosophy before.
In a 1 minute, 2 minutes, can you tell us what you're working with Dhir Govinda Prabhu, and how is it helpful for the community building?
Okay. So yes, since like 7 years or so, I'm under training by Dhir Govinda Prabhu, who is founder of the Sattvatov Institute, where he is teaching a community-based approach to self-realization. So he's combining basically communication, psychology, and all of that based on the foundation and principles of Srila Prabhupada's teachings. And I have seen in his community, there are many people coming right directly to Srila Prabhupada, just going to these seminars. And how is that relevant for us in community building? Well, I have seen my own inabilities in conflict situations to support others, and also to communicate in a manner that is following the Vaishnava etiquette under pressure, under stress, and in life situations that are unusual, uncertain. So how to rewire the communication, how to go into the garden of the heart and to identify anarthas, to identify the weeds, to be able to address those weeds, and in interaction, in community, to use communication also, to be aware of my own anarthas and to not so hard trample onto the feet of others, or being able to rectify it. I appreciate having the opportunity to learn and continue to practice that, and I want to support others also to learn that, like in community. You encouraged me to make that part of my life's mission, and to like give workshops where I go for free on a donation basis for to farm communities and support them in being much more capable and prepared to deal with conflict, so that Ishtar-Goshti is not becoming something like where you dread and feel like, oh no, again Ishtar-Goshti, oh my God. No, where it's okay to speak about very hard and rough topics, like Haribolananda last time said in the recording, how the leaders deal with conflict. I want to support leaders. I'm training leaders in project management now. That was what I did in my past, project management. Now I'm training project managers in general, and I endeavor now to take what Dear Govinda successfully is giving to the devotee community and beyond since 20 years or so, to bring it together with what my wife and I had needed like 10 years ago, and what I think leaders that step forward for this second half of Prabhupada's mission, what they can need in terms of being self-aware about their own patterns of communication, leading, and how to deal with conflict, escalation, de-escalation, and more.
Okay, so very very good, Prabhu. With all this thing, all this, like basically it's guna and karma, no? You're getting trained more and more in this, what your inclination was. You're already getting, gravitating towards that. Now you are primed to serve Srila Prabhupada with this ability and the desire which you have from Srila Prabhupada. So yeah, you were saying something?
Yeah, sorry, I did not fully address your question, I think. I left out one important part. Dear Govinda, he has created the Vedic personality inventory as part of his doctor thesis and PhD. I don't know if you say doctor thesis in English, yeah. So he created the Vedic personality inventory, where you basically check what is your dominant guna.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working with his right-hand man, Parampara Prabhu, on considering how to ramp this up to the Varnasrama Dharma system, because I was very inspired to discover how can the VPI, how can it be used to define, are you Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, how to do that. So is it per percentage? So I looked into Prabhupada's quotes, what he's saying. Sometimes he's saying it in slightly different ways. So we played with it. We used ChatGPT also to check what could be questions and what could be questions to ask to find out your Varna. And yeah, I think that could be a starting point for everyone to identify one's own Varna. I wish that everyone being here over the next couple of months, after these sessions, has a lot of clarity. What's my Varna? Yeah.
More prominent Varna, yeah.
Prominent Varna, yes.
So let's keep going on
Yeah.
the Brahmana. Let's get to it. It's very good that very good that we got your introduction, and so because you were a key part of organizing this whole structure and this service. If you are able to do it, be very, very helpful for all our communities in the future.
I think Vishwa Garuda Prabhu wanted to say something, right?
Dandavats.
No problem.
Haribol.
Hare
Hello.
So I know I heard a little bit of what you said as your introduction, but I really don't know much about you. I've not heard. Um, so is there a current project that is happening and you are
Okay.
part of it, or?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Right now, I'm living with my wife, Ananta Shakti, and my sons, Gopal and Damodar, 15 and 14 years old. I live in Portugal, and we just came here as friends. Friends have bought land here,
Here,
very cheap.
where? Here, where is here? I don't know where is.
Oh, Portugal. It's central Portugal. It's a small village where there live more sheep and cow than humans. It's called Oledo, so I guess no one will know. It's near the Spanish borderline, so it's not where the fancy villas are at the coast side or so. It's less. It's sparsely populated, you could say. There are some towns of like 40,000 or so, 30 minutes away from here. The main point we came here for is friends of us with their daughter. They bought something here for 6,000 euro, so an acre and a half or a little more. And I now shifted my occupation and started from scratch, basically, after spending all our savings for a journey of a couple of years living in different communities, starting from scratch. So now I'm at a point where I can afford some land, and I'm waiting for the right moment and the right land to match up with me. So right now there's no specific community existing here. We came here because here there are a couple of expats, people here in the village where there are lots of empty houses. People, they move to the cities. Elderly people are here, but expats, they repopulate this area, and expats, they started building cooperatives where they support each other with growing food for each other. So we are growing food. My son Gopal, he's a Vaishya by heart, and he like this summer, like right now we're eating watermelon every day. He was growing 180 watermelons. Yesterday night he came back. He has backache because he was the whole day with one local farmer, elderly farmer. He was shoveling dung the whole day and bringing dung to our garden. And he has a more extended garden from the locals here. And yeah, today he's going to make firewood. We don't pay any penny for heating. He's just getting the firewood for the whole year for us. And yeah, so we continue the simple living lifestyle, and we're not at our full capacity, not having a cow. Yeah, unfortunately.
So have you tried that other community? I think Shivram Swami or somebody started in Belgium, right?
Maybe you mean the one in Hungary?
Hungary, yeah.
I haven't tried. I was about to visit a conference that they do this year, this month, in 2 weeks. And unfortunately, my wife's father had some heart attacks. And so we are going to Germany, and I will miss to connect with them. And also, I know someone who lived there, and I wouldn't join that community. I think it's a role model community in many, many regards. And I know someone who went to Fiji Island to live in the community there because he was very unhappy with the leadership. I won't go into detail now, and yeah.
I can already imagine, but yeah, yeah. When you grow big, all these pains are there. When you have two people on this planet also together, there is a conflict.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the nature of the world we live in. But as you can see, even in this call, there are only very few people even to talk about it. So obviously there are leadership challenges. Everything is known for everybody. It's not like a unknown topic. Okay, little bit about me. I've also served full time as a brahmachari in Bangalore temple for
Mm.
the first 10 years, and then I opened another center in Visakhapatnam. Uh, Things didn't work out. Then I got married and came to New York and Long Island Temple. I was the temple president there for 4 years, and
Ah.
you know the rest of the story. Then Nimai took over there, and then yeah, we wanted to be far away from whatever happened. So that's how we went into you know our own vanvas.
Mm.
Then we came back because of the kids wanted to come to colleges, and then we did homeschooling for kids. I don't think they would recommend to anybody now. But these are all definitely common challenges. As devotees, we want to impart um, whatever we think is correct, but maybe our kids will view it in a different way. Are we saying they should not learn the regular college degrees when we train them in the Vaishnava culture? Are we saying our colleges are recognized or not recognized by the government? These are all big questions. Who is the target audience? Is there any, for like any project, you are into project management, I heard you train people. The first thing we talk about is a minimum viable product. So what is a minimum viable product for a community for which it has to be scaled up? So what is the footprint? What is it that we are trying to do? Are we bringing donations and getting donors to build this structure? Or is it like you can just do a small footprint like how you did, like that another couple of more devotees or 10 families come together, and do we call that a cooperative
Uh-huh.
society, or do we want to actually have a footprint and in a grand scale raise $10 million and provide housing, provide all the facilities? I mean, these are all big questions. What is it that we want to achieve? Just like I don't see any different than starting a ISKCON center. If
Mm.
somebody is very inspired
Ah.
teachings of Prabhupada, you open a ISKCON center. Then after you open a ISKCON center, then same thing again. A temple president is there for life. There is no election. There is nothing. So whatever all the other things which I am not going to get into.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what
Mm.
happens to the rest of the people? Are they joining the temple? Uh,
Uh-huh.
they get anything out of it when things turn sour and they're shown the exit door? Then what happens to all the dedication and hard work they put in, even in this community?
Yeah.
So
Mm.
these are common problems. I mean, I'm talking too many things, but
I,
yeah.
I appreciate you share something about yourself, and yeah, I heard many good things about you. I've been in the Long Island temple a couple of times.
Oh, we didn't
I've
see.
spent a
Yeah.
couple of weeks there, and I must say I'm very impressed over the years how Nimai Pandit Prabhu keeps it steady, and he mentions your good self, also saying as I understand you have a lot of experience in management, and I saw your questions in the WhatsApp chat, and you're looking at what's the vision here, what is the target audience, and you're reflecting on, well, Krishna consciousness. Not many people are interested in Krishna consciousness, and now here we are, the niche of the niche, who is interested in Varnashram Dharma, and then there are many intelligent questions you're raising. Now, the MVP, the minimum viable product, like a prototype. That is what I get. That is exactly what we are doing here. That is what we are starting with now. And the questions, they are there. The answers, they are not there. And it's up to us to put the questions on the table and to discuss and to churn, to discover and to look at, as you say, it's pretty much like a temple is opening.
Yes.
But
so
at the same time, there's no blueprint and there's no model, as the leadership of the Krishna Conscious Society has kind of neglected this part, the Varnashram Dharma part, Varnashram colleges. The focus was and is on the temples, and when you speak about college, we first need to speak about what is a Varnashram college, and how are we going to develop this. That there are so many questions where we first need to find a common ground. Where
if I can just pause you there,
please,
just hold on to that thought. There are about 10 participants here. If we can just get only like 30 seconds for each person, if they can introduce themselves and just say what they are expecting from this conversation, and let us stick to one topic, not more than 5 minutes, and that way there is useful time spent here. Otherwise, I mean, we are all devotees, we can speak hours together on any topic, so let us be fruitful in the conversation. That's all my recommendation is. If you all agree for that, we can modulate the call like that with time box.
Thank you. In the spirit of the WhatsApp chat group, putting us back on purpose and inviting everyone to participate. Please.
So I think you both, everybody heard from both of us. I would say the next person can go, whoever it is. Hari Kirtan Prabhu, Pradyumna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Some of you have know me from the last call, but my name is Hari Kirtan Das. I live in North Carolina with my family here.
Okay.
And
North Carolina too.
You're in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm in Hillsborough at the moment.
Hillsborough, okay.
So, so I spent some time in 2015 and 2017, I believe it was, with Nimai Pandit up in New Paltz. I was raised as a devotee, and so I am been thinking about this for some time, and I'm very interested in this topic. So
nice. You are invited for our programs. We have every Saturdays. Today is a Saturday evening. We have a program at our house.
Okay. Yeah. Where is your house? In Cary or
in Morrisville?
Morrisville. Okay. Very good. Yeah. Wonderful.
I'll share the address.
Yeah, please do.
Sure. Okay.
So anyone else wants to introduce themselves, move on, or can do that?
Pradyumna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. This is Pradyumna. So I'm living in Jaipur. So yeah, I'm a married man, and my father have a business, and with that, I'm trying to do little bit book distribution and teaching little work these things. Yeah,
Nice.
I was in that Guru Tattva class. I have joined almost all the classes there.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I see Jessica Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
This
Hare
is,
Krishna.
I'm Jessica and Badri, my husband. We are here in New Paltz.
Oh, nice.
So I think I may have met, I know I've met some of you. Prabhuji, I think I may have met you once at Sprout Creek Farm. And Bharatasa, that was really inspiring. Your way of communicating all of that was very thought-provoking. I think I may have even crossed paths with you and your wife, but like in passing.
Oh,
Mm.
At Gopal Farm in New Paltz, but I can't recall. But anyway, we're here. We live here in our house in the country.
oh, okay.
We have 2 kids that we homeschool also, and just pretty much living an independent life in the sense we're not in a community. We have a Vaishnavite community,
Mhm.
and we've been very involved with the temple, the Sri Ranganatha temple here,
Oh,
but then also spending time through Nimai Prabhuji and Vinay Prabhuji at Gopal Farm, Sprout Creek Farm, when possible,
mhm.
just sort of like appreciating that vibration and that influence for ourselves. Anything you want to say?
No, that's pretty much it. So we certainly are interested in cow protection, right? Local farming, getting being self-sufficient within the community, and of course, conscious living and being devoted to Krishna. So all of that, those areas are of our interest.
Nice.
Mm. Yes, thank you, Jessica Mataji, and also Badri for introducing. And yeah, maybe we have unconsciously passed pass. Yeah. Mm. I'll keep it with that. I would love to speak more about cows and everything, and I follow Vishwa Garuda Prabhu's invitation for everyone to join in.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The next person, I think Leo or Ranchor or Garanga Sundar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, all devotees here, and please accept my humble obeisances. Anuga Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, myself, Ranchor Krishna Das. So, yeah, I was, this Krishna conscious got initially, sprouted in my heart through one of the classes in ISKCON Bangalore. Then later on, I was practicing Krishna conscious, and then I was almost like 1.5 year or 2 years, I think, almost 2 years, in the New Jersey temple. I was serving there, and then right now I'm in Mayapur. I got married, so the Nimai Prabhu was the one who actually guided me in the Grihastha ashram in the beginning days. But I would like to tell one more point which Bharat Prabhu doesn't know. So when I saw him in the first time with his kids and coming in the caravan and living that simple life, I don't know. That was the first trigger point for me that I got a little taste for Grihastha ashram. That time I was a brahmachari. I mean, I was not into the saffron, but just as a brahmachari, I was not married. That's it. But I was not having any idea like how grihastha life would be in a devotional life, because I haven't seen anyone. There was no inspiration in my life. I haven't seen anyone leading a grihastha life in a devotional life. So I haven't seen. So when I saw him, then that taste developed for me. So when I was back to India, then that's how I started communicating with Nimai Prabhu, saying that, this is my idea. I want to get married. Then Prabhu started slowly encouraging me. Yes, there's no wrong in that. Then slowly it started like that. So I'm working for Nimai Prabhu's farm even now. So I'm here for my kids. So this is my short
Very
introduction. I would just say that.
thank you, Prabhu. Somebody on iPhone, we don't know who it is.
iPhone Prabhu, Shuddha Sattva Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Myself, Rajkumar.
Rajkumar.
I am brother-in-law of Pradhyuman Prabhu.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Wrote all the-
Where are you now?
I am from Hyderabad, Prabhu.
Hyderabad. Okay.
Uh,
Telugu.
yeah, they have a small jewelry business.
Jewelry business. Okay.
Already.
So you are interested in the farm community.
Yeah, bro. Here is a big farm community. Pradhyuman Prabhu told you. I don't speak well.
Okay.
He's in Hyderabad. He's my brother-in-law, and Hyderabad is a big farm community, but nothing is being done there.
Yeah.
So he's doing chanting, and
Okay.
I asked him to join that. Very nice that Varnasrama and all the things are being discussed. So he's a new devotee.
Very good. I think we have Gauranga Sundar Prabhu. I think is the only one who left.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is
Haribol.
Gauranga Sundar from Jaipur. I'm just here to learn about Varnasrama, gain knowledge.
Thank you.
Humility
Hare.
personified. Huh? Tell no about the community that you're trying to do in Vrindavan and
It's just in very initial stage, so just trying to get things together. We have got around 10 acre of land here and around 40-acre land also in the talks. So trying to develop around 35-40 families are ready to come when we have everything on the ground. So yeah, trying to. That's why I want to learn how to put everything together. So I am basically here to understand proper instruction and to apply it to the community which I am trying to develop here in Vrindavan. So in Vrindavan, Maharashtra, two places, going on.
Okay.
So, yeah. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Thank you so much. Thanks for all that introductions, Prabhus. Yeah.
Leo
Bharat,
Prabhu
now
is
want to. Yeah, Nimai Prabhu.
Leo Prabhu. Bhakta Leo. Okay, let's carry on, Prabhu. Please carry on. We will join later. Carry on, Prabhu. Vishwapram.
Bharat Prabhu, you can take one of the topic that you are. I paused you at that point.
Well, I was responding to you, and actually,
Okay.
well, my endeavor to get us started with something to chew on.
So
Yeah.
if I were to just consolidate the conversations a little bit, I was thinking there are few parts. You have to separate the topics into two divisions at this point. One is purely to understand from the Shastra point of view, what is the validity, why are we trying to do a Varnashrama? All those are one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is actually implementing it. So we have to define this entire conversation. Is it on which side of the conversation are we doing? Are we talking about purely about the tattva or the philosophy behind the whole thing? Or are we talking about the organizational structure and a blueprint of it? We have to be clear in our minds. What are we talking about?
So, as I understand, no, Prabhu, that Nectar of Devotion,
We're
sixth
talking
chapter.
about the tattva then.
Nectar of Devotion, sixth chapter, Srila Rupa Goswami is giving that 64 regulative principles. But then he writes there, and Srila Prabhupada explains that Srila Rupa Goswami is giving the principles, and then the spiritual masters later they give the details on how to implement them. So it's like together, no, always, because one is a principle.
Everything is together always.
Yeah, yeah.
We have to understand when we get serve a plate of prasadam, there are 10 items. You can eat only one at a time. All the items are there. Everything is delicious. Everything is nutritious, but we can only chew one at a time. That's how you can.
Like in this example of Brahmanas should own or not, I
So
was
that's
thinking
tattva.
this.
You want to put it in the tattva bucket, or you want to put
Yes,
in
I mean, the
organizational
thing
bucket.
is,
Otherwise,
first we can
you'll
start
be
with.
only talking and talking and talking and not implementing anything.
Sure. So why don't we first, I mean, first we have to always start with Shastra Chakshusha. No?
I'm assuming all the devotees here have that. They're wearing those
I
glasses,
mean,
and that's why we came
the
here.
thing is that it is always a problem, no? Because people have different viewpoints of Srila Prabhupada too. So once we at least agree on, okay, this is what Srila Prabhupada is saying,
Yeah.
and let us say how to implement it. Maybe even refresher thing, maybe it can be short,
Yeah,
maybe
sure. You
long.
can. That's all I'm saying is whatever we are talking, define which bucket you're talking. That's all.
I feel we
You
should
switch.
always go first with the tattva, like understanding from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, the Vedic system through
Okay.
Srila
So
Prabhupada.
if you want to do that,
Hmm.
you have to define what is your end point. Because I don't think you can consolidate all the Shastra in one point and say this is the framework under which I'm working. It is a gradual evolution. It will keep on evolving. You cannot say until I'm clear, I cannot start my work.
Why don't we take a test case, and then maybe it will help
Yeah.
us to define maybe how much time it
Mm.
takes, how much long.
Yeah.
Like this Brahmana thing, Brahmana owning land or not, we can take this as a test case and see how much we should do it, how much priority we should do it. All these things we can come out. And Bharat is good. He can structure it. He can say no, no, let's do it like. I mean, he does it for his living. Uh,
I think Garuda Prabhu, is it Vishwa Prem?
Vishwa Pran.
Prana.
Vishwa Pran, sorry, bro.
That
I get you're much better in this. If you want to lead, you can structure it for the next couple of months, like if you would like to.
no, I don't know if I have that kind of bandwidth. That's all.
I see your thinking is like in that capacity, and it's like, yeah, theoretical or practical, and I get your points. Otherwise, it can be hard to get anything together, and then we're just talking.
That's
And
all.
what I got from Nimai Prabhu and the discussion in the WhatsApp, how I understood it, I don't know how maybe that resonates with you. I know you have some ability or also in agile the project work, and here this is what I get is we are working on the MVP. We are working on one specific constitution. First, the template that can be used for different communities, but practically applied to those two farm communities of Gopal Farm, and then we are bouncing back and forth in an iterative way, yeah, looking at one deliverable and only focusing on that, and around that we discuss different aspects of the whole framework theoretically, but also practically, and we go to the different levels. We go to the different levels of theoretical understanding and practical application. And I'm not sure how well this is working in our circle. I saw Hari Kirtan wanted to say something. Oh, yeah.
Why don't we start with the one topic, and then we'll see before trying to define everything so like particularly, and take this one topic, no, and then see how it goes. And I mean, time wise, deliverables wise, at a certain level, when you feel it is done, okay, say cut now, let us talk. And then as Vishwapan Prabhu says, say iterative, So you can say, okay, come next week we can do more on the Shastra side, and now let's cap it for the time being, and let's go on the implement, like that. I give you free hand and keep going. Yeah.
Harikirtan Prabhu.
Valuable. I just this question that you bring up, I mentioned in the discussion about the land ownership and that structure. It's something that I've been curious about, and if I can jump in and
Yeah.
we can start this discussion and kind of work out the format from here. So, Nimai Prabhu, you asked, for sources, and I've been looking and researching since, this conversation. And I have found it very difficult to find within our Shastras and within Srila Prabhupada's instructions regarding the details of how Varnasrama and the various, systems were organized. I have found it difficult to find direct information on the details. We get a lot of broad strokes, and occasionally there are some details that are illuminated, but our Shastra is primarily focused on Krishna consciousness, and a lot of the details for implementing and organizing society, these are not considered, transcendental. This is all material subject matters. They're necessary and they're important, but and so we don't see them detailed much in our Shastra. So unfortunately, my sources are not they're from other areas, is the best that I've been able to find. So it's not I would not take them as concrete, but
if you like, you share them on the Zoom too.
Yeah. So I've been compiling them in different points here, and share them on the Zoom or on the
up to you.
On the Zoom, to everyone.
Zoom means when the call closes, nobody can see it.
Okay, so I will share them on the Varnasrama group, on the WhatsApp group then. So, all right. So the first one is that actually is the permanence of the land grants to Brahmanas. So that is called Brahmadeya. And they were actually quite permanent. I was mistaken in my original understanding. And the land grants were tax-free endowments. But the interesting thing that comes up is that it was more that they were granted for a specific purpose rather than they were granted to specific Brahmana, but the priority, kind of the hierarchy, would be that the purpose was more important. The person they were given to came secondary. Because if the land was not being used for the purpose that it was granted to, there are indications that it can be repurposed to another Brahmana to maintain the same purpose that was originally there. So it's delicate because of, and I know the story of King Mriga, where he gives it again. He gives a cow, takes it, gives it to someone else. He's like repurposing, regifting the cow is a big problem. So I did some research into that, and so there appears to be some allowance for that, because the king had to oversee that the land was still being used for the purpose it was given. So that's the first point that I found. But it does seem that the land is given and the Brahmins are given autonomy. Here's the second point, is that they have autonomy. So I will post that as well. So I'm trying to give sources for this so that we can all continue. So yeah, and I can post in the group there as well, number 2.
Thank you, Harikirtan Prabhu. I see Nimai has posted something that's matching this. Yeah, there's Artha Shastra.
Yeah.
Yes. Reference to.
Can we also bring it up on the screen, because people later, in YouTube and all, they can't see.
I posted it to the group as well.
Can you share the screen too, so people can later on in the YouTube they can watch this thing?
Share the screen of my screen, or
Yeah, your wherever you are pulling it from.
oh, this is just my document that I have.
It cannot you have a problem sharing that document?
No, I can share the document. That's not a problem.
Copyrighted.
All right, hang on.
So we are going deep into this rabbit hole of giving land to Brahmana. I don't know if we should focus so much on that topic, for the simple reason we are, in other words, assuming that the community of Varnasrama begins with the Brahmanas, or are we addressing the question goes back, the target audience? Who are the ones? Are they living in the farm, or are they just coming and doing voluntary seva and going back?
Well, I think it's important to understand how the structure of Varnasrama is organized. You know, even if it may not be directly applicable, you know, these things that we're learning may not be directly applicable to our situation or what we are trying to do. We have a baseline, you know, whereby we can understand, you know, how it is organized. Then we can see how is it applicable to our situation, because we have something to go on. You know, that's my take anyway.
Now the question comes back. Kalau Sudra Sambhava. Everybody is born in Kali Yuga is a Sudra.
Yeah.
But because of the mercy of holy name, everybody is elevated to Vaishnava. So do we have Vaishnava qualities? We don't. Do we have Brahmana qualities? Question mark. So who is a Brahmana in this present day and age? So that again goes back to credentials. Anybody can claim that he is a Brahmana. These are all very subjective matters. We don't measure by metrics, by culture, we actually come to see, and it is very subjective. These are not qualities. Oh, Prabhu is very humble. Prabhu is very. You don't know. These are not something that you can. All the 10 definitions, samo, damo, sapa, saucham, all this. Everybody can quote all these slokas.
I mean, I should first admit that I am not very versed in Prabhupada's books or his gleanings into the scriptures, but I'll just mention a few things that I have heard, right? The Varnashrama Dharma is based right out of the Vedas, right?
Correct.
So Manu, being the first ruler, further expands the Varnashrama Dharma in Manusmriti. So those are the oldest texts that we know of.
Correct.
Where this Varnashrama Dharma is based, right? Now, why this Varnashrama Dharma, right? Because a society can never be organized or governed for the activities that it has to perform without a code of conduct or a rule of law, right? So, our ancestors looked so deeply into how should a society be organized, what is the functional organization of a society. So the basis of today's principles of management evolves from Manusmriti. So Manu looked into this and they said, hey, what are the functions that are required for a society to operate well? They took all those functions, decided how it can be best grouped based on specialization. They evolved an expert community for each one of these functions, created a society, and then determined how that society needs to be managed based on these functional organizations. So, no different than modern theory of management applied deeply into a construct that is well bound by what is said in our Vedas, right? Now, if you say who is a Brahmana, right? If you want the Vedic definition of who is a Brahmana, there are 6 qualities that are mentioned.
10.
Let us say the 6, right, that are relevant today. Yes. So, what are the functions of a Brahmana? The functions of a Brahmana are to study the Vedas and impart the knowledge. Okay? To perform what is ordained in the Vedas, the yajnas, and
Help others.
to help others to perform those. To ask for alms and to secure those alms.
And we have to
So,
give it and give alms.
right, the Brahmana can never give alms.
We
The
can.
Brahmana can
Brahmana
ask.
is the highest charity of knowledge.
Correct. So that is already in previously said, right? Because what to study and to impart the knowledge, that is the role of a Brahmana,
Yes.
right? Then the Brahmana should not be going out and doing work.
Correct.
Because if the Brahmana goes out and does work, who is going to learn and teach? So
Correct.
those functions are lost. So the Brahmana can ask for
Yes.
resources or alms, and then the Brahmana can be given. So that
Yes.
is why the kings in those days
Would
would
give charity.
offer land grants,
Yes.
right, to Brahmanas. Even today in South India, if you go, there are many villages called Chaturvedi Mangalam. If
Yes.
you see Chaturvedi, these are all land grants that the kings have provided to a group of Brahmanas who were well versed in Chaturvedas, four Vedas. Their job was to learn and
Yes.
disseminate the learning. So
Correct.
the land grants were provided to them. Once the land grant is provided to Chaturvedi Mangalam, it is the king's job to maintain that many number of Vedic scholars in those villages, because those villages and those land grants that have been given, the king should never take back. An alms that is once given to a Brahmana, when that is taken back and repurposed for something else, the king, as you mentioned, Riga, invited trouble.
Yes.
Because he was intentionally looking to give the same cow away. He just did not know that the cow had come back to
Correct.
its previous herd. Right? So by accident, he gave that away. Whether by accident or not, a mistake is a mistake. So he owned up to his mistake. He said, I'll take this thing.
Correct.
So from Vedic Chakshus, from Shastra Chakshus, that's why Krishna says, Tasmatu Shastram Brahmanante Karya Akarya Vyavastitau. So whenever we look at this thing, you have to look at it from Shastra Chakshus. First, what is said in the Shastras, and then you have to then see how it can be applied in today's context based on what our teachers have told us.
Very well said. Everything is accurate to the point. Just to add to that, one more version of what Prabhupada's vision was, the society is already messed up. And everybody who's born in Kali Yuga is considered a Sudra, but his credentials are upgraded only because he's taken to the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So automatically he becomes, all the good qualities of the Brahmana dawn upon him by dint of purification, and he is beyond a Brahmana because he is learned Sharanagati to take the shelter of the Vishnu. Hence, he is considered better than a Brahmana. And when Prabhupada wanted to restructure Varnasrama, he was not intending or pointing towards the Manu's direction of Varnashrama. Rather, he was recommending what is called as Daivi Varnashrama, where all the people who will come together are devotees, and these devotees can take up any role for functional performance only. So even a Brahmana is not supposed to wash the toilets, but a Vaishnava doesn't have reservations. It is for Krishna. For Krishna's place, I am ready to clean also. Oh, that cleaning work is actually done only by a Sudra. But a Vaishnava doesn't think like that. It is Krishna's house. I have to keep it clean. So this is the function. He does not, if there is nobody who to manage, the devotee, even though he doesn't have that skill or ability, he will take up the role of a manager as a kshatriya. So we are talking about organizing devotees in this fashion.
So this is actually not the true Varnashrama. It is actually a service community. That is exactly what this is.
Exactly. It
It
is
is
called Daivi Varnashrama. That's how Prabhupada coined the word.
So I don't think we should use what is said in the true traditional Varnashrama to be direct. So if we were to say, hey, this is primarily to organize a service community,
Yes.
or a community of people who are devoted in their service to Krishna,
correct.
How would you organize that?
That is you nailed it.
So for that, once again, going back to our Shastras, right? Every society, it says, has two basic principles that it needs to organize itself around. One is called Brahmam, the other is called Kshatram. So the word Brahmana and Kshatriya emanate from their Sanskrit roots, Brahmam and Kshatram.
Yes.
What is Brahmam?
One who
Brahmam is knowledge.
Yeah.
Brahmam is knowledge, right? Whether it is spiritual knowledge, whether it is material knowledge, Brahmam means knowledge. So every society needs to have its own source of knowledge.
Yes.
And how that knowledge is acquired and disseminated. Second is Kshatram. Kshatram means administration and defense.
Field.
So the Kshatriya is primarily around how am I going to organize and administer justice in this land,
Yes.
and how do I protect these people?
Correct.
Right. So what now if you look at how do you apply, I'm sorry, Bharat Prabhu.
No, I was not going to say something. Please continue.
If you were to look at how am I going to apply these two principles, Brahmam and Kshatram, right? Obviously, that the service community, as you said, Vishwa Prabhu, has a lot more than merely acquiring knowledge and disseminating knowledge. Although that forms the core of every service community, it has more than that, right? So you first organize what is the core of this community. If the core of this community is Krishna consciousness, how do we first live our life based on this Krishna consciousness? And how do we now motivate others to do that? Then that is the core of the service community. There needs to be a certain group of people and a set of specifications or guidelines on how that is going to be organized. That is number one. Number two is the Kshatram. What are the functions? How are the functions within the service community that need to be organized? How do we make sure that when there are problems, they are addressed and properly administered according to principles of justice, right? So you have a Brahmam, you have a Kshatram, even within the service community. So if you were to take these two, now you can come up with, hey, who is going to work on what principles apply where, and how should we organize these within a service community?
So let us take a small vote on whatever is consolidated here. Do we agree? Is this the Varnashrama that we are talking about?
Not fully, no.
See, okay.
It's because Srila Prabhupada specifically, he was asked these questions and he explains from the scriptures. I mean, he quoted many times and we can read directly from him what he's saying. He says, even in Varna, in our devotee community, we need to organize Varnashrama. He was not talking about, like we are all devotees, so we don't need this. He was specifically, he was asked specifically saying, and he explains the reason why. He explains the reason because Varnashrama is for neophyte devotees. People who need to become devotees, they need this. Otherwise, they can't become. We can, everybody.
So we don't disagree on that point, no, right now.
We are not disagreeing?
No.
Right. So then Varnashrama means it is applicable on us. We have to organize society. He says Lord Chaitanya can say, Lord Chaitanya
No,
didn't.
you're saying the same point right now.
No, one point.
Yeah, go ahead.
So all the 4 divisions we have to do. But there is a service attitude among everybody. So that needs to be organized. Everyone has some prominent, like Bharat Prabhu was saying that Dhira Govinda Prabhu tries to figure out through the Vedic personality test, even among devotees. I mean, we are not above the modes. Mam Shavyo
Yeah.
Abhiragena, Bhakti Yogena Sevate Brahm. What is that? Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. What is that? Mam Chayo Abhivicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sa Gunan Samatyete Tan. We are not above the modes, no, by the chanting and Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Sometimes we feel like that, especially by chanting in the mornings and really worshipping the Lord, everything we feel sometimes, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, and most of the times we are not, we are trying to. So to help us in that, then when we are not, we have to organize according to our modes. So how to do that? We have to take um, Manu Samhita, as Prabhu is saying, but
Point made here is very simple. For the classification, we are saying we are a service community organizing ourselves under the umbrella of a Varnasrama for the purposes of management. That is what we are talking here.
Sure.
Is that correct statement or no?
and to get purified to come to the next stage. Yeah.
For purification. So is that what you are thinking or not?
Yeah. I'm thinking, what about others?
I mean, I think that, I guess I would agree with that. I mean, I would phrase it in the way that the reason we are looking towards Varnasrama is because it will help organize our efforts.
Exactly.
That is the idea. It is not, the goal is not like, oh, Varnasrama is the goal. No, Bhakti is the goal. Service to Krishna is the goal. That is our purpose. But the system of Varnasrama is, we have the Varnas and we have the Ashramas, and these are the different stages. And Srila Prabhupada says many times, this is not an artificial system. This is natural. This is, actually, this is just how people naturally are organized. This is within people's temperaments. This is, Srila Prabhupada uses the term inclination. And so, so to apply the idea of Varnasrama is just to organize our efforts so that they are fruitful, so that they are, structured. So
the higher part, Harikirtan Prabhu, here is the distinction made is the regular Varnashrama, where today the caste system, which is prominent in the Hindu society, that is not what we are trying to introduce here.
Agreed. Yes. No, not trying to do that at all.
Yeah, that is the distinction we are making. That's all.
Understood.
Yeah.
This is based on Bhagavad Gita 12.8, where Krishna says, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Person of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me.
If you cannot, yeah.
Exactly. And then if you cannot be attached to me, if you cannot fix your mind, attach me, asakt, so without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga, which is the sadhana bhakti, which we follow, and Pancharatrika Vidhi or Bhagavad Vidhi. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain to me.
Yes.
If you cannot practice the sadhana bhakti, then just try to work for me. This work for me is under the Varnashrama principles, but with the understanding that prioritizing it towards the bhakti of Lord Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it is just that we have a way that we can organize responsibilities and structure. Not that this is, strictly and exclusively set up. We do not want to duplicate this caste system that we have seen in India. Even originally, the Varnashram system in India was not the caste system that we see. That is, as a Kali Yuga corruption of the Varnashram system. So.
Yeah, Prabhupada here is explaining that.
I think, Prabhu, I think we got the point here. We don't have to go more detail about this because of limited time. I understand it is important to talk.
One important
I
point
also wanted to talk about the other
on
gradation.
this topic of Brahmana.
1 second. Let me get to the point. The Brahmana, even though you are categorizing as a Brahmana, the same way you are categorizing somebody as a Vaishya or a Sudra, they are not remaining in that position for long. Because the devotees, by dint of practice, they want to mature and they will graduate. Like at one point of time, I always thought I'm a businessman. Whatever I do, I will only do business. Now I don't. So that can happen to everybody. My point is, nobody is boxed in, because this is a community where everybody is coming to education. Do you all agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah. But how is one earning money?
Now you're jumping another topic. So we'll talk about that. Then
So my one topic which I from this purport, if I can finish this, and
Please.
Prabhu, please take it.
Okay.
This the Devi Varnasrama, the way Srila Prabhupada has given us, is this, that there are devotees who are preaching and propagating Krishna consciousness teaching, Krishna consciousness. They should be helped by the other divisions. That's how it will become perfect. That in this so that much we take from Manu Samhita, and like we boil it down to essence like this. It's not like free for all. Whoever in this community, service community, this is the main service is Sankirtan, and then around that devotees help in different divisions. That's how we manage. Anyway, on more about it later.
Okay, I get there are some different viewpoints and some common denominators. Like what I hear from you, Vishwapran Prabhu, is like this is not static. You're going to the points that I addressed in the poll in WhatsApp. What is Varnashram Dharma not? Or what is like the muse around Varnashram Dharma, where very easily we can get into stuck position when we think, oh, we are all Shudras by definition, or we are all Brahmanas by definition. And then, as Badri Prabhu then joined in with, as I understand, this is universally applicable. Like its roles, its functions. Hari Kirtan expanded on that, and you agreed. So this is universally applicable, and you now say it's dynamic. Yeah. So guna and karma, Srila Prabhupada is saying that's how we define our varna, and I think that's a very interesting discussion that we can take one time and to focus on for just one session to define how to define our varna. Yeah. What are the actual parameters? And I get now we started here testing the waters also. What are the different positions and interests of everyone in this call? So we get some idea. We get some idea starting with Hari Kirtan's topic of Brahmana owning land. Vishwapran playing the devil's advocate. Who's a Brahmana? Who's a Brahmana in this time and age? Yeah. So where do we want to go from here? We are 1 hour and a half in the call. How long do we go? And what is how do we want to use the rest half hour that we have?
My wife, Aruna Mataji, she is here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
She wants to say something.
Prabhupada ki jai. So one thing I would like to say is the people who are coming to this community are all only coming because they are devotees. Correct? They are not coming because he is intellectual or he is a businessman. So when we are saying varnashrama, but they already are in their varna wherever they are. They're already working. But when they are coming to this community, their goal is bhakti. They want to understand Krishna. So in that sense, it's very difficult to box them into some varna, I feel. ashrama, okay, they, they are
Okay.
either brahmacharya, they are not married, or they are married with kids, or they want to, in vanapastha, or they are in sannyas, or they old people and they just want to stay in a community and leave their body there. So these are the categories of people that we will have. So we have to, I feel that we have to have the community, the vision that all of them are in the process only for
Yeah.
the purpose of doing some seva in
Okay.
the temple or in that community. They are doing something. Somebody is very good in cooking, is doing cooking seva. Somebody is very good in deity worship, they are doing deity worship or something, so that is not the core thing, that okay, we want everybody to have that division. How will we make that division? Is That's what my question is to all of you.
Yeah,
How do
I
one
get,
money?
I appreciate you
Does not-
bring in the point that, yeah, this would do injustice for the devotees to label them with material labels, and they are just divisioned like that. And here, what comes to my mind is a very important instruction that Srila Prabhupada gives so often. I thank you for bringing that in the divisions, like the legs, the stomach, the arms, and the head, and there's no one is lower. It's the one in front of the zero. Yeah, we are all spirit, soul, and that is the core of what we are discussing here.
Yes.
Yeah. So, thank you. Yeah, and at the same time, in every community, we practically need to work. Krishna is saying in chapter 3 the whole time to Arjuna, work, do your duty, and he's referring to you fight.
Yes.
Arjuna is saying, Krishna, basically he's saying, I don't want to, this is that is sinful to do that. And Krishna is saying, you're a warrior, so do that. And in the spirit of what Vishwa Prabhu was saying, I would say it's up to us now that Srila Prabhupada left us this to define it, to clarify it once and for all, to not step into these positions where we are stuck around Varnashram down.
What I feel is there might not be, we are looking for something which Prabhupada might not have very openly, or what you say, very clearly would have spoken about it. Maybe he has spoken, but maybe he has not spoken. Doesn't mean that we only depend on that. Let us all use our intelligence also, and let us think in the circumstances that we are. Let us come to a conclusion, or as a community, how we want to build forward. Because we are seeing that one person, we also want to start a community. I have a group of devotees who come to my house, and they've already been telling, let's start a thing. But I am not going forward. Why? Because when a community doesn't have a proper understanding who is the controller, who is doing something, then that can go into the brain and spoil our Krishna consciousness. So we should have that clear. Now, why would you give land only to a Brahmana? So a devotee who is doing Shudra work, so he will not get land? Is that what you're saying? Only Brahmana gets land? Think about it. What you all are telling, that is being very wrong. We have to have equality to all the devotees, because they are all working. Just because stomach is doing all the work of digestion, the hands are, so you can't say that, one is supposed to get land, another doesn't. Have a plan in which that there should be equality. Everybody should be not one is on top, one is under, that.
I understand what you're saying, Mata, but the Shudras are basically, if one is working, and that is meaning what Prabhu is saying, no, that different people at different times are, because we are devotees, we can change our guna also, not like in a normal Varnasrama system where probably by birth it is set. It is, but here, what according to Krishna, what he is saying now, what work one is doing, basically occupation, where one is earning money, that becomes dominant Varna at that time. But then one can become a Brahmana. Like there is a Vedic, all this, what was it, what the Vishwamrita, no? He was a Kshatriya before.
Oh, but the
He
devotees
became a
who are coming
Brahmin.
to your community, don't get confused, Prabhu. I feel you're going too much deep into Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Devotee, only those who have understanding to lead a very devotional life are going to come to your community. They are not going to be those like the, so-called Brahmana, Kshatriya, because as a devotee, everything everybody does, right? They don't, we cannot diversify, decipher, no, you do only this service. It's not possible. Sometimes
It's
in the
like
temple
that, no?
you have to
Because
do cleaning, you have to do everything everybody has to do.
let's see what Krishna is saying in
I,
Bhagavad Gita
I'm,
247.
okay.
He
I
exactly
see.
covers this point. If I may, Prabhu.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention Hari Kirtan was raising the hand, and also
okay.
then
247.
in the chat there's something going on. A lot going on.
अन्यवादिकारास्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangost karmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So now Srila Prabhupada describes this exact point what you are talking about, Mata. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties refer to activities performed while one is in the modes of material nature. Can you say we are not in the modes of material nature? Mam cha yo bhibicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati tetan. We are trying, but many times
If I'm in my guna, I will not want to come to your community itself. Why will
May
I?
I
But I will want to come to your community. Why? Because I want to.
trying to get out of the gunas. It's not because of
may I interject here?
Yeah, please.
I just listening back and forth, and one thing that comes to mind for me is, I think the goal, or maybe not the goal, but the idea behind establishing the Varnas in a community is one, for organization, but also the structure of the community means that everybody should be feel secure, and they're not in distress of their, for their material needs, so that they can focus on Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, I cannot tell you exactly the quote, but I believe it was in regards to the community that he was developing in Mauritius, brought up the quote that at this time, what is the question of pursuing spiritual activity if one is constantly in distress over one's necessities? And so, that's the idea of the community, is that we can work together, our necessities can be taken care of, so that we can focus on Krishna consciousness. So helping to find, you establish this discussion, Nimai Pandit Prabhu, regarding Varnasrama College. So to help people find their inclination and where they will be the most satisfied, where they will be able to perform their duties and they will be satisfied in their work. That's kind of the purpose of the Varnas and the ashrams, is that you have a place where you can be peaceful and you can do your work for Krishna, and you can advance in your Krishna consciousness. And so
dichotomy, there is a philosophically, like somebody who is chanting Hare Krishna, they are not automatically above the modes, no?
Right, exactly. We have our material things we have to take care of, and we're cleaning the mirror.
Try
So
to come out of the modes. Krishna has given these activities. So here he's saying, Srila Prabhupada is saying, as far as prescribed duties are concerned, which are according to one's prominent modes, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine work in terms of the scriptural injunctions, which is the Varnasrama system, is done without desire for results. As one has to do it, obligatory work is in action in the mode of goodness. Work with results become the cause of bondage anyway. So there is an emergency work, and then there are desired activities also. What we are, the Lord is asking us to do, Srila Prabhupada is asking us to do, all those activities are there. So, but in the normal course of events, we do according to routine work. We can do other activities like we should remember, oh, this is required, that is required, always will be there. Devotees, we need to do that, because it is all for the service of the Lord. But then there is a routine work, which is the normal routine work by which we earn money, by which we maintain our family. Now that a Brahmana was somebody who was a Kshatriya like Vishwamrita, before he was a Kshatriya, he was doing his routine work. And then when he changed into a Brahmana, then it became different. So similarly, everybody, if we are, if somebody is a Vaishya activities he is performing, then that, because he's earning from that, that is his main income. So is in that category, within the devotee community. But it could be that he changes the more prominent Varna and the income is coming from mainly Brahmana activities, then he's treated like a Brahmana because of the work he's doing, Patan, Yagya, Yagyartha, and Dan Pratigrinat.
So, the kind of the purpose or the point would be, how can we structure the community in such a way that everyone has their work, has their engagement, their different service that they do, and they feel satisfied in their position. They don't feel in distress that I don't have this taken care of or that taken care of. That's kind of where I see this going, this discussion of, the land, and the different responsibilities is, how, because I guess to relate, I have many different friends, and I have always had this idea that I want to own some land and have a farm. And I've spoken to other friends and they said, oh, that would be a nightmare for me to own land. I'd prefer to rent, because then I don't have to maintain the space. And so everyone has different what they would are what is appealing to them, what they feel satisfied or happy with, like what to one seems like, oh, this is great, I have this resource or this freedom or this, whatever it is, this security that I have my land. To other is too much of a responsibility. So we don't all have the same temperaments. We're not all inclined for the same things, and this is how we fit into a community in different ways. So different arrangements are provided for different people, different temperaments. So
Oranga Sunara is having the hand up, and also Tattvadashina Prabhu was mentioning he wants to read something.
Can I speak?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, is Varanga Sundar here. See, we have to understand why Prabhupada said the Devi Varnashram, why he wanted to set. Because before that, whoever was coming to the movement, all were getting fit into being Brahmanas. Brahmachari Brahmana, that was being offered. And they were not ready, they couldn't, sustain to that standards. They were falling down and everything. So Prabhupada, obviously, people who couldn't be Brahmanas, they had no occupation other, they go outside, what to do? Become brahmacharis, or then they Brahman initiation and then fall down and they don't know what to do. Because everyone was being put into that bracket only, Brahmanas and brahmacharis, sannyasis. And there are many fall downs. So Devi Varnashram is like, I join a temple, I become a brahmachari, then I had to take Brahman initiation. I'm not a Brahman qualified by quality, but I was by the system, I was told to take the Brahman initiation. I was, it was that mere. But now Prabhupada wanted to say that, okay, you may not, you don't want, you can't, you don't have to take Brahman initiation. You may be a Vaishya, but in the temple atmosphere, there's nothing for the Vaishyas, nothing for the Sudras. Everything is for the Brahmanas only there. So now Varnashram is set so that you fit into, you have an occupation where as a Vaishnava, as a Vaishya also, you can be part of the community. As a Sudra also, you can be part of the community. So we have to set that. Devi Varnashram means keeping Krishna in the center and having opportunities for all the people who have different temperaments. They can be part of the community. Otherwise, what was happening? People who are not Brahmanas or Brahmacharis, they were left out. Even now you see ISKCON, many people join, and then when they leave, they have to go back in the material world for earning their money, because they cannot fit in the temple atmosphere. Nothing is there to sustain them there. So this Devi Varnashram was to sustain all those people who are not Brahminical, and couldn't fit into the temple community, temple atmosphere. For those people, Devi Varnashram, where as per their inclination and their quality, they can get some, some role to perform, earn their livelihood, and gradually progress in Krishna consciousness. They don't need to become Brahmanas to progress. They can, as a Vaishya, you can progress. You can become a pure devotee. As a Sudra, you can become pure devotee. You don't necessarily have to become a authorized Brahmana, like Dikshit Brahmana. Then go back to God. That is not, so Devi Varnashram, what I understand is for that, those peoples who are not fit to be, and because, we very, loosely say, we are chanting, we are Brahmanas. But in the heart, we are not. We are not. Many people are not. Very, very few people are really Brahmana by quality and by, inclination. We are other Varnas, but because there was nothing, so we all called ourselves Brahmanas. But now in Devi Varnashrama, we can be what we are. If I am a Vaishya, I can be a Vaishya, do my business and whatever, and progress to go back to Godhead. If I'm a Sudra, working class, I can be a working class and chant and progress. So that is what is Devi Varnashram all about, to give everyone a chance to go back to Godhead. Not to, it's not that, you have to be on Brahmana only now. That is what which was before in a temple atmosphere. Now, this is what I want to do.
Jai. Yeah, thank you, Devi Varnashram. Yeah, Krishna in the center, and as a platform for everyone to progress, go back to Godhead, and yeah, also it can be like a security net when we are not on the spiritual platform, when we are under the modes, then we are situated in our Varna at least. I want to share a little excerpt from Prabhupada's Gita Nagari, which I find is speaking exactly to this. In that essay, he's writing, from the Gita Nagari, this universal truth must be propagated systematically so that real human society may be established for the benefit of all, dividing the categories of man according to natural modes of nature. Such social order on the basis of the Bhagavad Gita all over the world may be called the institution of natural caste system or the casteless society. In that institution of natural caste system, all divisions of man will be engaged in one transcendental business of spiritual community with equal status of life and with equal importance of cooperative value, as much as the different parts of the one whole body have different functions only, but qualitatively they are one and the same. In that institution of spiritual social order, everyone will have equal right to promote himself to the higher status of life without any malicious competition, and as such, education and culture will be open door for all concerned, as much as the varsity of all state is open for all with equal status of educational right. Casteless society will, of course, never allow to place on the same category of a high court judge and the laborer, unless such society will have gone into madness of culture. On the contrary, by establishment of such casteless society, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, nobody will be grudging if anyone is recognized as the qualified Brahmana on the value of merit only and not on the basis of birthright claim. Such casteless society is reasonable and acceptable by one and all in the world. Nima Prabhu, you're on mute.
Tattva Darshina Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhus, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I am very happy to see all the devotees discussing about 50% mission of which Prabhupada left to us. So this was a one room conversation which some devotees were talking. Just I also want to clarify more and discuss with you. So this was a conversation took place in Hyderabad. So actually maybe most of the devotees might be knowing. So during Prabhupada times, there was temple president names Mahamsa Swami those days. So that was the first land we got in ISKCON temple, like 565-acre land. That was a very huge land that we got to the ISKCON temple. And Prabhupada want to show the ideal way of Varnashram community in that big huge land. So like because and Srila Prabhupada also came to that farm many times. He stayed there and he was discussing with the devotees how to work on this. So here like some conversation is going on. Just some devotees also told regarding same like this. Just I want to read this, then we can discuss.
Prabhuji, would you mind sharing the screen?
Yeah, I don't know actually how to do. Just I already posted that in our Gopal from Varnasram college. If it is possible, someone to copy paste and show it on the group, it might be.
Okay. I'll do that now.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I copied it into the chat. Oh, it's too long for the chat. I'll share my screen. It's not working. Please just go ahead, Prabhu.
Yeah, just like Mamsa Prabhu was asking, just like that devotee who was making garland for Krishna, Prabhupada, yes, Mamsa Prabhu again. He is a devotee, he is not a Shudra making garlands. Then Prabhupada, no, he is not an ordinary gardener, Panchadravida, or that devotee who was making leaf bowls for worshipping the Ganges. Prabhupada, any engagement for Krishna, he is a Vaishnava. If he is under the guidance of his spiritual master and doing business according to direction, he is Vaishnava. He is above all this. Panchadravida. A Shudra, if he is working, he cannot take Brahman initiation, but he can take Harinam. Is that just like sometimes our men, my devotee, they wash the cupboard. Does it mean he is Meter? No. He can go to the DT room also. He is not a meter or sweeper. But sometimes we do that. So devotee is above all this consideration. But because there is management, they should appear as Brahmana, as a Shudra, as a Kshatriya, like that. A devotee because he is work so just like and Prabhupada also like quoting from the Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Sagunan samityatyan brahma bhuyaya kalpite mam cha vebicharina bhakti yogena sevate. A devotee, because he is working as a Shudra, he is not a Shudra, neither is a Brahmana. He is already in the spiritual platform. But for management, we have to do that. One can do the Shudra work nicely. Let him be engaged in that way. Why he should imitate? Then Mamsa Prabhu, does he get second initiation? Everything he will get. Mamsa, he gets. Yes, second initiation means recognized. Now he has become fully competent Vaishnava. Just like master is teaching the servant, now you give message in this way. But doesn't mean he becomes servant. Panchadravida. What if person working as a Shudra say, I can do so much I can? Prabhupada. First of all, try to understand. A devotee is neither Brahmana nor Shudra. He may act like Shudra, but he is not Shudra. He may act like Brahmana. He is not Brahmana. He is Vaishnava. Just like gopis, the gopis, they are village coward women. They are according to social construction. They are not very high class. They do not belong to Brahmana class, but their worship method of has been taken highest. There were village girls, and practically their character was also not good because at dead of night they are going to Krishna. But why they have been taken as a topmost devotee of Krishna? Because the love was so high class. So this is the end of that conversation, Prabhu. So this what actually I want to share, because here also Prabhupada was telling a devotee may act like a Shudra, but he is not a Shudra, a devotee, because for the management sake, he was like telling about these things. And we see like in the last days, Prabhupada says like his 50% of remaining mission is to establish this Dai Varnashrama. And in some conversation also he told like it is very not possible to implement all the principles of Varnashrama. So like how we can understand by comparing with both instruction of Srila Prabhupada. I think any some of the older devotees or any senior devotees can enlighten on this.
Badri, you were going.
Actually, sorry, Prabhu.
You are on mute.
I was going to mention based on this reading, right? There are words that there are terms that he used, Vaishnava, right? And then he used Varnashrama. The word Vaishnava does not come in any Varnashrama dharma, if you see. Right? So, the very fact that the word Vaishnava does not appear in any terms relating to Varnashrama dharma, we can understand that Vaishnava for some reason is exclusive from what is said in the Varnashrama dharma. Right? That's why there is a dharma in Mahabharata. If you see, Bhishma instructs that to the Pandavas, right in front of Krishna being present there. That dharma is called Bhagavata dharma, which is distinct than the Varnashrama dharma. Because when one becomes a Bhagavatan, you cannot fit him back into the classical Varnashrama dharma. They are different. Varnashrama dharma is Samanya dharma. It is meant for the whole society. Bhagavata dharma, on the other hand, is dharma that is applicable for one who has become Krishna conscious or in the path to become Krishna conscious. What we are trying to do is to fit two constructs together when these two constructs are separate. Right? Bhagavata dharma is separate or Vaishnava dharma is separate than the traditional Varnashrama dharma. Going back, in the same Bhagavad Gita where many of you quoted, Krishna says, Yat karoshi, yadahnasi, yat juhoshi, dadasi yat. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusva madarpanam. Krishna does not say, go do this, go give this thing out, go practice this. He does not specifically tell you, go do this particular activity or practice this dharma. He says, Yat karoshi, whatever you do, whatever you offer, whatever you perform. Tat kurusva, whatever that may be, madarpanam, do that in submission unto me. So, in any society, based on whatever one's capabilities are, whatever one's faculties are, whatever one's resources are, the action that one performs with any of these things, when those actions and those results are done in submission to the Lord, then those become dear to the Lord. Any society that or Varnashrama or a community, whatever we create, if that principle becomes the core of that society or the community, then that community will survive or thrive or do very well, because then that truly becomes based on Bhagavata Dharma, not the traditional Varnashrama Dharma, but Bhagavata Dharma. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, if you see in the discourse relating to King Ambarisha, it says, Kalau harehe mandinamarjanadishu shrutim jahara achyuta satkatotaye. The Ambarisha is a king. He married another country's princess to become his queen. You know what Ambarisha did? His first act? He said he took his wife to the temple, gave her a broom, and he said, till today, I have been the most privileged to perform this service in the temple. Now that the Lord has married us together, now both of us will perform this service. They swept the floors of the temple. King sweeping the floor. If you see traditional Varnasrama Dharma, the king should not be performing that. But Srimad Bhagavatam says, they did that. Why did it say? Kalau in this age of Kali, Harehe Mandiramarjanadishu Shrutim Jahara Achyuta Satkatotiye. These are all acts of selfless service. They are all done as service that is submission unto the Lord. So the king can sweep. A Brahmana can go perform whatever the duties that are tend to the cows, do other errands in any community, as long as they are services done in submission to the Lord for the common good of the society. It is Bhagavata Dharma.
Perfect statement at a perfect time, calibrating us to the to the highest purpose. Thank you, Bhadir Prabhu. See something going on in the chat and need to leave now. Yeah, I see several have left. Nimai Prabhu.
Need to leave, but why don't we so are we finalizing the Shastric viewpoint that the Brahmanas are donated land either by Kshatriya or by Vaishya people who have money, and but it is a permanent one. It is not leased or anything, cannot be taken back by whoever is given. But if they become disqualified by qualification or by activities, or they don't have descendants, or the descendants are not qualified Brahmana who are performing that service, then they some other Brahmana who is qualified, then the land will be given to them. So something like that is kind of the principle, it seems. So if that is agreeable, maybe next week we can take that up initially if there is any problem with that conclusion. And then let's discuss the application of it, how to apply in these two properties. And go through all the different scenarios in which because of zoning laws and so many other issues, for profit, non-profit, ownership laws, all these things, how to do it once it is given, because then to another qualified Brahmana it cannot be given, and who will give? So all these are considerations to discuss, so okay.
It might make sense if you summarize what you just said and post it as point for discussion in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
So to bring it back to the initial purpose.
And we can keep discussing through the week, and then have real conclusions ready, and have people with discussion more next week to get it much faster. But I mean, I can see when we were discussing whether we should discuss the philosophical aspect or not, we can't jump to implementation. This itself took us 1 hour and more.
Yeah.
And I don't, that is still really accepted by everyone.
Yeah, I can imagine it makes sense to write down the conclusions from today that we agreed upon, that are unarguable, as like the foundational principles on which the actual constitution will be based upon. Gauranga Sundara Prabhu has the hand up again.
One more thing, Prabhu. Varnashram is what Prabhupada, what I understand. Yes, for devotees it is. But to attract non-devotees also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in a temple atmosphere, everyone cannot become a brahmachari. So if I'm working and I want to become a part of a community, if I have some opportunities in Varnashram, I can become part of that easily. And then gradually I can become a devotee, nice devotee, and pure devotee also.
Yeah.
So Dei Varnashram is not just for Bhagavad Vidhi, but also for people who are not devotees. They can become attracted to temple opportunities, the community opportunities. They can see people are happy here. They want a happy life. They're not getting that life in their material world. They can join here. They can be so take side, join, do some seva service in the community. Like if I'm a computer designer, a website designer, I may not be a devotee, but if I see, oh, Varnashram, nice community, very happy people. I want to be a part of that. I want to offer my service to the community. I will get some money, and then gradually in the community association, I become a devotee. So Devi Varnashram is more for them also. So that is the reason why it
Teaching.
is very important that we have to have different Varna opportunities and ashram opportunities in the Devi Varnashram, so that people who are not devotees can see that, get influenced, attached to those things, and get a opportunity to become devotees in future. As they go on in their seva. That is also a very important aspect why Prabhupada wanted to establish Devi Varnashram.
I've designed these two farms around that principle. The preaching as a Devi Varnashram as a preaching opportunity to attract people and by the association and our whole thing. And we can go through that more and more, more and more. So this Prabhu,
Like one second, Prabhu. Like in a college, now everyone will not be a devotee joining the college. Now, if I want to learn carpentry, I want to learn gemology or astrology, I may not be inclined to become a devotee currently, but I can see, oh, Varnashram is offering me this. I can join there. Now, in the association of devotees there, I may start becoming a devotee. And then once I pass out, then I know I have a salary opportunity in the community, so I can be hired in the community itself. So like that, I joined initially just to learn astrology. I had no interest to become a devotee. But gradually with the association of devotees and being a part of the community, getting hired there, I become a devotee. And this is how this is the principle why Devi Varnashram was said by Prabhupada. This is what I wanted to add one more thing.
Pradyumna Prabhu and Vashish Prabhu and Shuddha Sattva Prabhu, if you could also call.
So, bro, one morning walk, I was hearing. I think one back, it was in Bombay or Hyderabad. I was searching. I will share. In that, Srila Prabhupada saying the same thing, that we are just like na, we are not Varnashram. Just like then the devotee was not understanding. So Srila Prabhupada is saying like just like I am grooming the floor, so I am teaching you. So one purpose of Varnashram, this community is that na, to teach others what that Prabhu Himaguru was saying, and Gauranga Sundar Prabhu was asking that every to teach others also. We are also practicing and others also in that Varnashram that we have to do like this. So that is also the purpose of this Varnashram establishment by Srila Prabhupada.
Very good, Prabhu. So Vashish Prabhu, and you introduce yourself now. You are on mute. Hare Krishna. You're on mute.
Maybe Shuddha wants to add something. Yeah, you two have joined a little later. Yeah.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Guru. Yeah, I've joined late, bro. So, just wanted to add, like, it's a good churning going on. I can understand, like, it's just like churning something good will come out from these discussions. I can foresee that. But good to join these discussions, Prabhu. Thank you.
Vasish, Vasish Prabhu. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all devotees. Hare Krishna. So, to be honest, to be frank, you have started this group, this discussion about Varnasrama Dharma. I don't know much. I haven't gone through many things, many aspects about it. Today I got to hear about from Vishwagaruda Prabhu and other devotees, Hare Kirtan Prabhu and yourself and Bharat Prabhu. So I need to read more about it. For example, for Guru Tattva, okay, we've been reading a lot about it, but Varnashram Dharma and Gaurav Prabhu also, Gaurav Sundardas Prabhu also was telling something about a few things he was saying. So need to read about it, and when we can discuss more about it.
Srila Prabhupada said Mauritius could, or Fiji or Mauritius could become the first Krishna conscious state or something, right?
Fiji.
Fiji. But even for Mauritius, he had a lot of good things to say, like similarly. And he wanted, I've read Mauritius, he was talking how they are all growing cash crops here. They should grow food and they should organize like that. And so many things he has told. Vasish,
Yes.
so easy for you to develop a community there with so many devotees that you are talking to, educating, learning, and whatever I have heard and seen about Mauritius, such a good climate, you would be able to attract so many people with that way of life.
But every place now has its advantage and disadvantage, also its strength and weakness. So Mauritius also is not spared of the weakness. Just like it's not easy to work as as a society, as an organization. He also even mainstream also, and even the small pro-Padunga group that we have also, we are having lots of difficulty to organize, like to assemble ourselves and work. So we have our own challenge, but it's true that Prabhupada has said many things about positive things about Mauritius. Even the mainstream devotees are very right. What has driven them a lot, right? So to even devotees from abroad also, like senior most devotees, they have come to preach in Mauritius, depending on hanging on that on Prabhupada's statement about Mauritius. So yes, they have come, they have tried, they have done their part, but still many things are yet to be done. Many things are yet. Prabhu Bharat maybe has something to add about it. He's very enthusiastic.
A wide open field for you, Prabhu.
Excuse me, I didn't get you.
A wide open field for you, huh?
Yeah, but for all devotees, like all we have, in Mauritius also we have a dozen of Prabhupada Nugas, like, very few people know about the Vedic principles or Prabhupada system of managing things in ISKCON. Very few people are aware of that. Even also we won't say that we know everything, but we are trying to study about it. So in that sense, if we are getting help from other devotees also, foreign devotees, like we are in touch with ISKCON Bangalore devotees, like so we are trying to do something. Any help, guidance, and from any devotees, Prabhupada's movement is a international movement, right? Any help is very much appreciated and
It's really
accepted.
urge you, if you are able to, on Saturdays, to take time to keep coming and seeing how the whole, hopefully we'll
Of
be
course, it's a learning. We of
whole
course, I'll try to come and learn. Even if not live and direct, I will try to to see who will YouTube. Yeah, catch up for YouTube.
Gradually, the whole thing could be maybe hopefully is constructed, and that may give a good blueprint point for you to implement. Mathura Prati Prabhu says he will be here from next week onwards because he also wants to know in Germany how to really set it up. So it won't come. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for very good points, especially Badri Prabhu. Very, very nice. He's a real Brahmana. Okay.
Hari Hari Bol. And see you next Saturday and in the group.
So you would be, Bharat Prabhu, would you be able to like construct it if you get some time? You are recording it in your this thing for the AI? Me neither, but YouTube we can put it through it.
I can download it and run it into a transcript, etc.
Okay.
And we can change it for next week.
Okay. Wonderful. Let's talk more later. Whenever you have time, you can call me and we can figure out how is better.
Very inspiring.
Yeah, bro. Just like I asked that question, that how to judge that Brahmana, because it is an internal conscious.
Why don't we do that next week? That's a very important.
And the second thing that just nowadays people do not have that faith in farm communities. Still, they are nice devotees, because I was there in farm community for 1 year, but people have no faith, because they okay, we will stay at home, we can chant, but it's farm communities, it is very difficult. So how will they will get that faith in that Prabhupada, that mission that we have to develop the farm communities? One question is a second, that how to judge that Brahman. So we will discuss next in the group also.
Good, very good. If we can. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Jai Prabhupada.